Hello! The following is a presentation titled, A Curious Case of Crayon: How Small Sustainability Solution Can Create a Major Environmental and Humanitarian Impact. Today, it is commonplace for hospitality institutions to seek sustainable solutions that improve their day-to-day operations. Many of these solutions require minimal effort and fun and are now accepted as the standard by guests. Programs such as inviting guests to participate in a linen reuse program to reduce washer and dryer usage, installing low-flow hardware in sinks and showers, shortening the length of an in-room robe to increase washer and dryer load capacity, changing light bulbs throughout a restaurant or resort to minimize energy usage, or recoding and recycling guest key cards for multiple uses before disposing. Why, then, are we talking about crayons? Crayons are a fixture in family-friendly restaurants and resorts across the country, usually being doled out in addition to a paper menu that allows the little ones to keep busy during their dining experience. Everyone is familiar with these amenities as they come in standardized 4-packs that are used once and then left behind on the table. You're probably wondering why this is important. Let's just start with some math. The standard crayon weighs about 2 grams, or for those of us not utilizing the metric system, 0.07 ounces. As mentioned earlier, a standard restaurant crayon pack contains 4 crayons. I talked to the nice folks over at the Marriott World Center Orlando, the world's largest Marriott resort, to find out how many of these crayon packs get given out to their guests. They informed me that from January to June of this year, they have utilized 34 cases of crayon, each containing 360 of the 4-pack. When questioned what happened to these crayons after they are given out, they indicated that most are left behind on the tables and then disposed of as the tables are cleared. So, under the assumption that all of these crayons were given out to guests and then almost immediately thrown in the trash, those menial 0.2 ounce packs of crayon add up to over 200 pounds of waste just over the course of 6 months. Now, 200 pounds doesn't seem all that substantial in the grand scheme of things, especially as Americans generate over 215 million tons of garbage each year. However, this is Orlando we're talking about, epicenter of all things kid and family friendly. Orlando houses some of America's largest resorts, 48 of which are in the immediate Disney theme park area. Now, let's just assume that these Disney resorts have an average number of dining establishments similar to that of the Marriott World Center, all of which are certain to have the kids' menu and crayon amenity. Let's also assume that these resorts have a similar usage rate as the World Center, leading us to the conclusion that all of these resorts combined have produced over 10,000 pounds of crayon waste just in the first 6 months of this year, indicating that by the end of the year, Orlando Disney area resorts alone will have generated 9.4 tons of waste. It seems sort of ridiculous, doesn't it? To think that perfectly good, functional crayons are taking up substantial space in our landfills every year. Fortunately, there are other individuals who are asking this very question. Brian Ware from Danville, California, was doing similar calculations in his head as he was enjoying his birthday dinner with his family in 2011. His estimations indicate that nationally, restaurants and resorts contribute 75,000 pounds of non-biodegradable crayons to landfills every year. Partnering with a friend that is a physical therapist, Ware designed a crayon mold that produced crayons that are more triangular in shape and more easily utilized by children recovering in hospitals. Working from his home, he began a non-profit organization called the Crayon Initiative, and has now collected, melted down, and reproduced over 10,000 crayons since the start of the project, distributing the finished product to local schools and hospitals in need. Ware designed boxes and created a network of volunteers that would routinely change out the boxes at restaurants and resorts around his Danville home. He believed that this simple and relatively small change in a restaurant's operating procedure will have a significant environmental impact, as this functional resource will no longer go to waste. He hopes to be able to expand his reach and develop the Crayon Initiative to operate on a national level, so that crayons can continue to bring joy to children and stay out of America's landfills. Down the coast of California, outside of Los Angeles, another parent was struck with a similar feeling of unease when watching crayons going into the trash while dining out with her young daughter. Sheila Moravati was motivated by memories of time she had spent in Mexico, volunteering to teach young children with very limited resources and no access to art supplies such as crayons. She questioned the restaurant as to why the crayons were disposed when they were perfectly good, and was informed that there was potential to spread germs. Moravati sent an inquiry to her alma mater, UCLA, and received confirmation from their biology and biochemistry department that crayons were no more or less capable of spreading germs than any other toys or art supplies that children share. With this information at hand, Moravati connected various restaurant chains in her neighborhood to area low-income schools to create the crayon collection. The crayon collection has expanded significantly since its foundation in 2011, especially as Moravati's area school quickly realized that they were receiving more donations than they could feasibly utilize. The organization has now expanded to a national and global scale by partnering with the National Head Start Association to supply crayons to Head Start and preschool programs across the country. Moravati has also started to ship crayons to other countries in need, extending the reach of the programs to Hong Kong, Beijing, Mexico, and Australia. The crayon collection also supports a local school finder application, which helps to connect individuals to their local schools in need, allowing consumers to participate in the recycling program on a more personal level. It's really quite interesting to see that two small, relatively similar ideas can come to fruition and create an immediate impact. While Brian Ware was motivated by environmental concerns to start the Crayon Initiative, and Sheila Moravati was motivated by humanitarian concern to create the Crayon Collection, both programs have had a similar result. The program prevents a non-biodegradable material from entering our nation's landfill while placing the resources back into the hands of consumers that can use them, effectively recycling the resource with very little energy or effort. These programs are unique in that they also produce a major humanitarian benefit, allowing young children in rehabilitation hospitals or underprivileged schools to have access to what is such a quintessential part of childhood. As a global community, we're really quite fortunate that two separate individuals noticed a rather small detail in their day-to-day lives that inspired them to make a change. One can hope that this example can serve as inspiration to organizations to never overlook the smallest details of our operation, as something as simple as a crayon can create a lasting impact not only on the environmental health of the planet, but on the people that inhabit it. And that is the curious case of crayons.